I don't know how that matchup goes right now from the change to OD, but I'm sure
definitely OD favored.
Yeah, I mean, any matchup against a melee hero just turns into an imprisonment and then deny game. Storm Spirit instead, though.
You liking the Storm Spirit here, Lacoste?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's Bryle's kind of signature hero nowadays, and he plays it well. He understands the hero completely. Also, it's another lockdown for Ember Spirit. You can easily zip to him, especially if you have any kind of vision. Surprise him with that.
What are we thinking right now, Cap, for Enigma? How are they going to round this out? Is there anything, any glaring misses right now on the checklist?
So they basically set it up by picking the Legion Commander. I think the matchup, I'm not 100% certain, but I think the matchup is still favorable for Legion Commander in the side lane for Ember Spirit. So basically LC will beat that, so maybe they have to go mid, but now he's mid against a Storm Spirit. So Enigma have to decide which lane they want to be able to get the advantage in.
Okay.
Because I think Ember Spirit loses either way.
Yeah, he loses to Legion Commander and Storm Spirit because he just removes his Flame Guard completely.
Yeah. So you pick the lesser of two evils. Pick one thing that can go toe-to-toe with one of those bad boys.
And where's your most, there's a lot to be gained, I think, more out of making sure the Storm Spirit has a bad laning phase, but the Storm can always default on jungle. But Storm is also the win condition. I think for this lineup, it's a draw lineup, sure, but I think it's still Storm Spirit who is the end of the game. You don't want AM. I don't think you can afford that option.
All right,
Wind Ranger plus
We've seen this matchup in game number 1, Drow Ranger against Storm Spirit, so they wanted to give V at least a better lane, so that means that Ember Spirit's going to be on the side lane.
It's a hero that can kind of gap close on the Drow Ranger, right? By wind running through and just ignoring the damage that's being run at him, focus firing on the Drow. You again,
this is all
hard for Legion Commander to play that matchup as well.
If you look at these 5 heroes from Nigma, they're all so squishy. They don't have a strength hero.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have a frontliner.
But at the same time, their lineup, if they walk away from the laning phase, okay, and they start building a little momentum, they're going to be hitting you back to back to back to back, right? There's not a whole lot of cooldowns. They have a lot of catch thanks to the fact that they have these, Ember Spirit, long-range catch, high mobility, Wind Ranger, pretty good mobility, good catch as well, Disruptor. So if you do start building up the momentum, Fighting Panda's lineup, which has Drow Ranger, who needs to recover in the jungle most of the time, Storm Spirit, who needs to recover in the jungle. We had a series earlier today where those two clashed, and then a Legion Commander who doesn't create the space for you has been a very ineffectual 3 position at being able to create opportunities for your 1 and 2 to recover. I could very easily see this game snowballing out of control.
I think Mind Control needs to itemize a bit differently than usual. I think he needs to build the team fighting items here.
Mm-hmm.
So because they're so squishy, they don't necessarily need to have that huge amount of magical damage, but he definitely needs to tank his team up, in my opinion.
For me, I think this is much different from Game 1 and Game 2. Team Niga are taking a very different approach. They're going to attack Fighting Pandas head on very early, and this is not going to be a close game. I think this is going to be one-sided one way or another. It's going to be decided really quickly in the first 15.
So you're looking first 15, that's where Fighting Pandas, you're really looking for them to go heavy?
Fighting Pandas has to make sure they don't get run over by this very high tempo, a lot of catch, a lot of skirmish from
still, Nigma doesn't have enough tower damage, and they're playing against Treant once again. Yeah. Usually when you have Ember Spirit, you need someone to deal damage to the towers, and Wind Ranger's not that hero. You want to save focus fire to killing
Nigma's literally saying, we're better than you, and we're going to kill you over and over and over again until you tap out.
All right, well, let's see if that's how this one's going to pan out. This game going to decide it. It's time to jump down to the beautiful, beautiful Toby and Synderen.
The laugh of Cap in the end. I love it. I hate you, Rich.
Hey, my pants are at least dry, Cap.
Yeah, I was going to make a joke about that, but let's not do that. Okay, so let's look at game number 3 here. I think the panel pointed out some interesting stuff that mainly will be coming out of Mind Control. I think he's the hero to watch this game. The Nature's Prophet earlier this tournament from him had a weird item build in that game. I think he went Crimson Guard, Vlad's Radiance on a Nature's Prophet. Very unorthodox build. And we might see something somewhat similar in this game, I think.
But it feels like he's in such a horrible position as well, like against Legion, against Storm. Like, how you...
It's not easy.
It seems to be like the arse end of the stick that you just continuously get for Mind Control's like drafted hero.
Yeah, but the good thing about Nature's Prophet is that he's generally able to, even in a bad game, he will find some farm, right? In comparison to other heroes we've seen MC play in this tournament, usually the net worth will be up there so that you can afford, for example, say Crimson Guard or Pipe, whatever you think is more important for your team in this game. But it's a fair point from Lacoste. Like, look at this Radiant lineup. It's 5 squishies, right? There's nobody who's like a real frontliner who can tank. And sometimes you can argue Ember can do it with Flame Guard, but like you get shredded by Drow Legion if you get dueled. So you got to be really careful.
It feels like itemization needs to make up for their inadequacies at the moment. And like, in order to do that, you need to have Disruptor doing what we've seen before, like heavy punishment. The Ember Spirit of Miracle needs to start moving. Weeha needs to not get shredded in his mid lane. It will be the Storm versus the Wind Ranger having that mid matchup. No rune shenanigans, no tri-lanes that are happening. In fact, they're already just like single duel for both sides moving through the lanes.
Yeah, and something about this lane at least. We've seen some Mind Control GH lanes that came off to a bad start. This is a pretty strong lane in terms of harassment. You've got Treants, you've got the Thunderstrike.
Yes, it's like both ways. Like normally you see like when you get Blightstones and Treant harassment against like these targets, it's nice. But Thunderstrike will have to do the work. Weeha already copying a hell of a lot of damage from Bryle. He does have the salve available, just lining up the creeps for that perfect attack, but he's doing more damage into Bryle, actually missing out on 2 last hits in order to get that harassment in. While on bottom lane, Snaking already TPing out.
Yeah, he actually has to. AOI went really far away here to block the pull at 1 minute.
Power shots off cooldown, he's not going to go it.
This is a standard Wii. He loves playing really aggressive in the lane, and sometimes he overextends and makes some crucial mistakes, and sometimes it looks good.
There's going to be real value. He's got, he can see the Observer Ward on the hillside, and the Sentry Ward's already planted down, so it's going to be a very, very useful tango.
Yeah, and some nice extra experience for him, too. I don't know who bought the Sentry or placed it, so I'm not sure who's going to get the bounty for it. But either way, will be very useful for him in that mid lane.
Yeah, he just took it. 106 to Wii.
Yeah. And as far as the Pandas go, I think this lineup again, it's right up their alley. They've got the Drow Ranger again. They've got team fight with Jakiro and Treant.
Yeah.
And they've got some catch with the Storm. So I think they're feeling very comfortable with their picks. They haven't really played against Disruptor though. So I'm kind of curious to see how they're going to deal with that hero when it's something they rate so highly themselves.
And it's definitely a hero that can punish. Man, they're really going at it on top lane. GH and Mygadrill's keeping up. And actually, Courier Snipe, Miracle. Not what we want to have happen, but it's a deeper Dire Observer Ward that gave the extra information. So no ferrying of extra items out. GH very low on life from the top lane, but they're focusing over on Envy. As Moon Meander can at least get the rebuttal. It's GH who spills the first blood, and Mind Control backs up. Been a real rough lane for CS for Bryle.
Yeah, he's being pressured very hard by Wii, and it's not only the CS, but the number of flasks that Bryle has had to purchase because of the aggression.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Well, you saw that haste the whole time. Okay.
Yeah, he did. Okay. It's like he's dragging the creep wave off to the side as well, so he's just able to like keep the creep wave at the right position. But not when he goes that far.
Both the main and top lane looking good for Enigma, and then the bottom lane, Snaking is having a great time in the Legion. They got a Courier Snipe. This is also a lane, to be honest, they're expected to win, right? It's Legion, Jakiro, very, very strong laners, both of them. But Lich is allowing Ember to hold his own.
Try and chase after Snaking.
If he dies here.
Miracle's just continuing the burn as much as he can onto Snaking. Fire and ice coming together.
And this lane for Enigma has been so good this tournament. Every game they've played this Lich Ember, it's looked great for them. And they're playing, like we said, it's into 2 beefy boys. I guess Jakiro, I don't know. Or Legion Commander, definitely not. But anyway.
Hey, Jakiro was highest strength gain support. Like, never ever forget. Top lane really hitting hard. Kuro's TP, that's long. And he'll actually, well, GH dies on the top lane.
Treant Micro here from Mind Control. Will he get a return? Well, Kuro, yep, we know he's back in the fountain.
Mind Control now TPing out. He can TP himself to the front lines once again.
I wonder if part of the reason that Nigma rate this hero high, apart from the fact that Mind Control, obviously, it's one of his best heroes, if they rate it high because it has that free,
nice ice path,
that free resource tool to go back to base in a meta where these couriers are flying out non-stop bringing regen. Nature's Prophet can get that free trip himself and get some efficiency. Maybe they rate it highly.
Structures are fortified.
Maybe they also just want to play comfort.
Oh, they definitely are.
Like how much preparation came into this tournament. You want to qualify to get into the major. It's the roughest road to get there. Nigma being tested at all times. And the Panda's really stepping up. Top lane, wall is up, Eternal Envy's going to be trapped. Everyone wants to close the distance on this, and all the Treants surrounding Eternal Envy with the Thunder Strike. Once again, you'll see these trade-offs continue, but Moon Meander, he'll take the experience as well.
He very fired, and he still just got clopped in one hit. It was so stupid. I mean, you gotta love it and hate it at the same time, right? Treant right now, what an absolute unit.
It's Dota. Accept it and move on. So Weehara is now totally dominated the mid lane. In fact, Storm is already going back into the jungle, not even contesting this catapult wave at all. Bounty runes are also on the field. Also, Disruptor will take the final one. Miracle copying a lot of range harassment from AUI. Good to see him back on a comfort hero as well, Jakiro.
Yep. His bad performance last game was kind of weird, where I think he messed up some of the earlier parts, but then he had some really key plays as well.
Envy trapped inside the Sprout as well as Kinetic Field. It feels like how many times we're going to see this trade-off, and Eternal Envy is always dying beforehand. It's only Moon who's getting the experience. It's not Eternal Envy for these kills. It's Moon.
Trend, I guess.
Yeah, well, potentially. As Courier doesn't get to deliver items. That had Boots as well as Observer Ward.
No.
That hurts.
Oh, no.
Not to mention the economic problems.
Well, he doesn't need the GPM on Treant. He got 3 kills or whatever. But everything adds up.
Now there's even more pressure still remaining on the top. Because, hey, Disruptor's back. The wall's going once again. I don't have a lot of armor to work with, both magical and physical damage hitting in hard towards Moon. But, hey, living armor. It's a quality ability.
And just one level makes a very big difference in these kind of brawling lanes, if you will. Constant shackle shot.
And power shot, that's level 4. That's going to be a lot of damage, but Brawl burns every bit of mana he's got to get some distance.
He's likely going to lose a wave in the tower, though. Completely out of juice.
Actually brought heroes to the top lane, so okay.
This game's looking very good for Enigma because, I mean, this rotation as well, great for Mike. They're going to lose the mid tower minute 7.
Yep.
That is bad news. We often talk about how important this mid tower is, and in this meta, I don't think it's any different. Like, losing this map control to a lineup that has the mobility of this Radiant lineup with Ember and Nature's Prophet being able to connect around and the glimpse with vision, that tower, they can't have that happen.
And you're speaking more of like lack of vision. Weehar's D-warded 2 observer wards just like already, like we're 7.5 minutes into the game, and there's just no extra information around this mid lane, and they're moving towards the top lane. Up to the next target, Moon Meander. Well, you're a little bit more beefy. You're going to pump into GH, but GH also waiting for the right time. Glimpse him back over, Ice Path.
Oh, they missed the power shot.
Okay, well it won't matter. He's still shackled to a tree.
Weeha just has so much to give right now. He's 1.2k ahead of Braille in mid. He took the tower. There's so much freedom because, yeah, you can let Braille take half the mid tower. You don't really care. Like, as long as there's experience there for somebody else to claim and you make the moves that enable the rest of your teammates, you're doing great. Nature's Prophet should be hitting 6 very soon. Ember is online. There's a lot of tempo to go around right now for the Nigma lineup. And Envy's game, for the first time this tournament, I want to say, is absolutely awful. Like, he's had very great games for the most part. I think he had one game on day 1 that maybe wasn't too good. But in this game, man, this is a hill to climb. He's died every exchange they've had top. And as much as you say, just go jungle, it's not the old Drow with the good marksmanship that one-shots Ancients or neutrals.
Your jungle's not safe. We and GH, they know exactly what you're going to do. Observer Ward's planted down. Okay, Envy, if you want to go jungle, we're going to chase with you. AUI, focus fire right on top of him. The wall holds up. Envy trying to create a little bit of extra space. AUI is going to be able to survive as the power shot's off target. GH dueled in the back lines. Braille, he wants to go for Weeha. He's a bigger kill to claim. Jakiro's the only one to die, and now it's Nigma who are trying to control up the the jungle of the Pandas who pay the price.
I like the invasion play, but I think in this day and age, you might need to bring more than 2 heroes for this play. You might have had to have the Ember as part of the rotation or the Lich. At the same time, though, you trade 2 for 1, but it's such a huge commitment from FP to get over there, while both Kuro and Miracle just took free creep waves mid and bottom.
Yeah.
So I think all in all, that's kind of a wash. But obviously, maybe it could have been great for Nigma with an extra hero.
Well, now they go back towards the mid, snaking, don't feel comfortable. The dewarding mission's going to have to begin, but if they got the finances to fund that.
There's the extra hero. Kuro level 6. They have Nature's Prophet with teleport ready, so they could be 4 heroes at any point right now. No Wrath of Nature, though. Kuro gets the vision.
Yeah, saw Moon for a second. The Courier's chasing him. Shackle is out. Courier, just keep going. Moon, you're dead.
So's the Courier.
I got one more. Yeah, you do.
Has been killed.
You didn't see this either. Like, there's a Dire Observer Ward in the river, but it doesn't see up the hill.
Never refuse school.
And now we have the 10-minute. At least the outpost in the bottom will go the way of Pandas.
Do they have
Eternal
protection?
Envy.
They
Yeah,
do.
there's a sentry. Glimpse him back. The wall is up. Envy can't get away from this.
You were so dead.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Nigma.
This is a really big stomping right now. I thought this Radiant lineup would have some tempo and try to play aggressive, but this is a much bigger lead than I would expect Nigma to get based on the Nigma we've seen this tournament so far.
Oh,
And
snaking.
they might just keep going. Chain Frost.
It's going to bounce over towards AUI. He stopped for a second and won't go any further. Spirit jumping forward towards AUI with the shields up. Miracle. You know he's going to cop no damage, and there's even more of a wraparound coming from Nigma. Looking for the back lines. Snaking, showing himself with the overwhelming odds. More support ready to go. He's really thinking, like, Miracle is low, and it's Eternal Envy who's there. Exactly the hero they want to try and shut down. Weeha's moving over. They line up for the Shackle! The 2 of them together! It couldn't have been any more perfect, but the wall doesn't come up in time. The Sprout will hold Envy in position, so they'll get the man they really came from. Weeha, maybe he'll still get the extra prize. No, snaking is way too fast, but hey, give her a shot. Woo! Shot's good, but not good enough.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Damn, that would have been if that kinetic field formed in time, that would have been really beautiful. It's a good kill, and they're getting another tower by the looks of it, unless, well, they're kind of backing off. I think Miracle will stick around until the job's done.
Oh, the TP's coming in.
Yeah, he will.
Snaking, at least looking for a denial. They're waiting for it, and Snaking is able to get the denial.
Denied.
So 50-50 split on that one.
Still a lot of pressure being applied now on bottom.
Yeah.
And this really starts to limit the farming area of Panda. So where do you go? Normally Envy is always able to find a hole where he can farm. But even then, like, even if he does get that farm, is he really going to be the one who makes the difference? It feels like Storm is the one that Pandas have to look to. It has to be Bryle getting a jump.
I think they need to look for a fight. I don't think you can just keep playing and have one guy making moves, because Nigma are not going to stop grouping up now. They're going to keep running at you with 3 or 4 heroes. And you need to be able to respond. Drow's game is bad, and it's not going to get any better, I think, without fighting. I don't think you can, like, look at the map right now. Look at where heroes are placed. Nigma are probably covering about 60 to 70% of the map right now with their heroes, just pushing everything across the river. You need to shove them out with numbers in a move. You've got Treant, you've got Jakiro with ultis, you've got a Storm. It's possible. You got to look for the fight, though.
Hey, MC, you want to get that bounty rune at some point as well? It's been sitting up there for, like, it doesn't increase in value anymore.
Nope.
Nice Observe Ward. That's going to get dewarded. It's a small victory for Panda.
Items dropping. That was Jelly and Brooch.
Yeah, Jelly came before. It was Tree. Ironwood Branch.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Wait, it was Jelly Brooch, right?
No, it was Ironwood Branch.
Who got the Ironwood?
It was Storm. Pandas. Both were Pandas.
Oh, okay. So Jelly for Nigma, and then, or did they?
Yeah, the Jelly came a while back.
Okay.
It's
Fine.
late. It's
Anyway,
fine.
the Brooch-
Hey, we didn't even see the Courier sniper the refresher open the last one, but it all still works out. So we get Arcane Boots up for 1. Kaya for the Storm. Things are all still moving as far as item progression.
Yeah, Brawl's game is decent still.
Yep.
They got to play around him.
And this is still a Drow. Like, Drow can still play catch-up. Split Shot's fantastic at this. Is it split or multi-shot?
See,
Split shot's the dosage.
If this were the old Drow and Drow's lane would have gone like this, the moment you're 6, you go farm Ancients or big camps way more effectively. So I would still say the recovery curve is a lot steeper than it would have been half a year ago. And you can tell he's almost 2k behind Miracle. No death to his name yet. There is the Ironwood Tree complete, as well as a drum, and he has the Fated Brooch. This Ember is loaded right now.
Maybe it's the wrong way around. Maybe it was the Ironwood Tree for the...
well, there definitely is one Enigma.
Yeah, there definitely is one. Either way. So how does Pandas deal with this? They put 4 heroes all standing on top of each other, farming up their own jungle. 2 are basically running cover. Enigma? Maybe they can try and find this fight. Tree and Protect is the man who's on the front lines. Moon Meander feels like it's a sacrificial lamb. Snaky trying to break him free. So Moon Meander just cannot get away from all the shield damage that's on Miracle.
And we were talking about Mind Control having a rough tournament and having really hard lanes and games. He's doing great. Probably going to be looking to itemize team items so they can kill Roshan, so they can mitigate damage. Oh, AUI's super dead.
Easy searing chains. Hold him inside the kinetic field. An extra power shot just to help Miracle finish the job. That was obviously funny.
A gift from the Tempest of Battle.
Bounties. Oh, Snaking. Is he getting greedy here?
He's coming a little too close. Support is nearby. Eternal Envy already using the split, but you see what Miracle wants. It's double gust, but you put the wall up. Support's going to arrive in the form of Mind Control. Nature's Prophet is always there, and Eternal Envy appears to always be dead. Snaking trying to keep his run going, but glimpse you back right into the middle of the sinister gaze of Kuro. GH left to finish the job, as there was a little bit of extra regeneration, but 2 heroes down now, and the tier 2 tower looks very, very open for Mind Control to force.
He's actually going drums into Orchid for now, so prioritizing the aggressive style rather than the teamfight style. Both work this game. I think when you have this good of a game, you don't have to buy team items. I would still like it though. I think it's the way to end the game reliably. But this way they have something to solve Storm, who arguably is the only problem in the game. Nobody else on the Dire is having an even remotely good time.
Do you also feel like Bloodstone is that way to still go for the Storm? Because it doesn't feel like Pandas are going to be able to find kills, but then again, what else does he buy?
It gives him damage, it gives him tank ability.
Well, Moon's dead again.
It's all right.
Oh, wait, no, he's not. It looked like we wanted to jump up the hill.
Fangs for Snaking. Reckon he might keep them, actually.
Well, there's your mech.
He goes mech. Okay, he changed his mind.
So the team item is there. Tier 2 tower is slowly being repaired by the living armor. Onto the Dire Obs. Power shots, just looking for a scout. Ember comes up, another searing chain. Legion Commander breaking yourself free with a press the attack. Actually begins a duel, combining with the Blade Mail. They need a little bit more damage than they're going to find a duel. But then again, they might just kill off Miracle. Envy battling from the low ground, but it will do its work. But the Shackle is too good. Moon and Bryle locked together, so Bryle can't do much more. And Snaking Sinister Gaze back up the hill. He still wants to get the damage out, combining with Envy. He's a great front liner. Snaking actually survives with this, and Bryle goes for another jump in. He's getting glimpsed away, but the control being enough to keep Mind Control in position to then ball lightning back through and find the kill. Nigma. Oh, it feels like they just gave some room to breathe to a suffocating team.
Miracle thought he couldn't die. He slide chained the Ember, slide chained the Legion, who's obviously going to press the attack that off and keep running. Just turned around and dueled him. He was not ready for that amount of damage. They chained everything really nicely. Ice Path came in after the duel. They had Overgrowth. They had the Storm doing the damage. And even with that freshly picked up mech, they couldn't keep him alive. Maybe you need to approach these fights slightly differently. Teleporting your Furon. Let him get opened on if anybody needs to.
Well, looks like this time will be Moon. He'll try and survive, throwing down whatever he's got. Envy's coming over. Can get some range damage in at least, but that's all. He's got the Grove Bow, which you can get. They got him! Oh, Envy, he didn't want this. Press the attack, won't break him free. The tree surround is absolutely perfect. Ice Path might create a little bit extra space combining with Macro Pyre, but Envy dies at the tier 2 tower, and Miracle forces the issue right on top of Jackie. And AUI will fall to Weeha's arrow.
Top tower is under attack.
It's like Nigma flicked a switch and we're just like, guys, let's just play fast instead. That's more fun, and it's working for the most part. That last move was definitely not good into the enemy jungle, but with that as the exception to the rule, so far their aggression in the game has been working out very, very well for them. This is going to be the 4th tower that they claim. Unless Bryle can somehow defend this, he's not interested. So that's going to go down as well.
No, he just finished up his Bloodstone. He only wants to join fights where they can actually find kills, gain these charges, work with it. Miracle feeling like he's a little bit by himself there. You're so scared if you're Pandas because you don't know where Nigma is. They're already smoking up. They're headed towards the north. We're 18:45 in. You know what time that is? It's outpost time.
It's very early outpost time.
It's fine. Still outpost time.
Yeah, well, they're gonna oblige.
Pandas are coming. You take the fight now, so you get the outpost later. And Weehaw. Oh, there's your ball landing forward. Pull him back in again. This will be a huge kill. Take me to BKB. It's just arrived. Did he get it off in time? Fight a bit. Some easy damage, but Weehaw. The protection won't be enough from Kuro with the wall. And now the Chain Frost. Envy. Bryle, he was just far enough away so that won't bounce. But Bryle needs a ball landing himself back up through mind control. They'll find the kill. Bryle with a double. They hold him. Miracle. Is he actually going to die a second time? Almost the same position as last. He keeps jumping and Bryle, a triple kill, clips him away. But Kuro, the TP out, it will be successful. GH, will he be so lucky? No, he will not. 4 heroes down. And now, Hasten, you know what time it is? It's outpost time.
Yeah, now it is. And they're probably going to only get one, though, because they are too far away from being able to connect bottom. If they TP now, the run is too long. So that's at least a silver lining here for Nigma. But again, it's weird to watch, right? Because they've had so many great moments of aggression in this game, and then there's just this stranded Windranger. His team is smoking to the left, starting to take over the area. Was this creep camp really necessary? Like, you're taking a risk. The entire enemy team is missing. They could be smoking toward you. Things could happen. If they're together, if there's literally anybody with him when he gets jumped, anyone at all, I think he gets BKB off and survives.
Kuro was nearby, but he's a little bit too far up. The BKB, it
nice
arrived right up.
From MC. That's a very good bounty snipe. Snaking in the right place, but not at the right time. A little bit too late on that one. But yeah, Fighting Pandas, they're back in the game.
Yeah.
They took a risk on that smoke. It could have backfired horribly. If Nigma were in good position, that could have been a team wipe.
And what a time! What a time for Bryle to have that fight. We said he didn't want to be in a fight until he could get kills, and he just got 3 charges, I think, maybe 4.
Yeah, I think he got 4.
Yeah. Now Nigma. Here we go again. Moon Meander. There's where they start. The wall will come up. And then, oh man, what a nice pass. And Envy so far from downtown. Here comes Bryle. There goes one. Get him back in. Miracle's the target. The duel is out. Weeha's the primary one. Locked inside the BKB. Eternal Envy trying to land that extra bit of damage. Weeha focus firing him down. But it's just so many Pandas. Envy will finally go down. But Weeha will be the sacrificial lamb. Miracle once more. But Bryle, is he doing a 1v3 in the back line of this fight? Sure. Everyone else is coming over. You got Living Armor to keep his life up. Kuro will now go down. The Chain Frost going to bounce over to the neutral creeps, and that's going to be all. Won't come back out of anything else.
That's a dieback on Kuro.
And what does Mind Control do? It's like, guys. Split push. Let's get the hell out of here. But his biggest nemesis, the Storm Spirit's getting fatter and fatter and fatter.
And they lost Weeha again. He did a lot of damage in this fight, but he ultimately does end up dying for the second time. And it's so much... I don't want to put Windranger in the same category as Quap, where it feels so bad when you die because you lose momentum, but it's like halfway there. Deaths on this hero do not feel nearly as good as they do on other... It generally doesn't feel good, okay? But,
deaths in general.
Yeah, but it's not great. And Bryle, once again, like you said, he's getting these charges. I don't feel like I saw the Static Storm that fight. I don't really know what happened. But if you want to kill this Storm Spirit, you need Windranger on him. He's too tanky with that Bloodstone. He doesn't die in the Static Storm. They don't have enough damage to kill him without the Focus Fire.
See, the funny thing is we're always talking about the Storm Spirit, but it feels like Storm coming at the end to actually play the Quap kind of style. Like, I clean up a hero and then I can bounce out, then I bounce back in again. It's Legion, it's Tree, it's Jakiro on the front lines, and no one's on Envy. No one's on top of the Drow Ranger. Envy's positioning always has a frontline meat shield to work for him.
The start of that fight was always really crucial.
Storm jumping in. Kuro going to be in there. Kuro's going to lose life so quickly with the Ice Path. Mind Control with the right. Puts the Orca over on Bryle. And now Weeha trying to fight with the overgrowth through Meander. Just holds the position. Bryle pulled back into the storm. The wall is up as well. The Eternal Envy. Only Yule stepped it up. He's ready to fight once again. A Miracle wants to keep fighting. He wants to catch out Bryle. The Spirit's up on the hill, but he'll go back under vision. Now Weeha dueled up. He's down for 48 seconds too. Roshan is open. No Weeha to defend it. You can quick Spirit jump away. Miracle slowed up. The wall creates a little bit of extra space. But now it's going to be what? Tier 1 tower and Mind Control trying to relieve the pressure, doing Nature's Prophet things, pushing the bottom lane.
They're just spending so much energy trying to kill the Storm and failing. Other heroes are getting way too much space in the fight, and FP know it. Bryle is really playing on the limit here. It's really cool to see when you go this Bloodstone build on Storm how aggressive you can really play into a lineup of this kind. And now with the Ogre Axe as well, look at his health. 2,500. I think it was 2,700 almost when he switches the treads over. So super tanky, 11 base armor as well.
22 charges with BKB arriving soon.
And of course, he can activate his Bloodstone.
Yeah. He hasn't had to so far.
Yep. And man, these Jakiro Treant heroes have done so much work this game. The fight on the choke point earlier around the top shrine for Dire, and now this time around the Roche Pit, Storm jumps in, then they get a really nice ice path. They get the overgrowth too.
It's like such a waste of a BKB of Weeha. It's like,
Yeah.
hey, I'm going to focus fire, I'm going to try and do damage, but I don't do as much as I really want to. GH has another level of control as well, so he's got Clumsy Net to work with his normal combination, but they don't feel like they're catching anybody out. And once that BKB is up, like, Brow's not going to care so much about things. AUI's positioning for Ice Paths, 2, 3 men, Ice Paths, always getting caught out. And once again, Eternal Envy. What you also him up, there's no one that can jump. There's Ember Spirit, but he's too busy trying to chase the Storm Spirit. Like, he committed the Remnant on the high ground for where the Storm was jumping, but he couldn't get it out.
It's one of those damn it if you do, damn it if you don't moments where it sucks to go on the Storm, but if you don't, he's going to just destroy your entire team. But maybe the play is
Envy.
Just dedicate someone to make Storm's life annoying. Like, just Orchid him and kill someone else. I think every time they go on the Storm, they regret it.
The ward's timing out. They don't feel like they've really got this. Mind Control still shoving in the bottom lane. So even if Pandas had any thought about going into Roshan, they're being forced into a trade-off. And you see the pings coming out now. It's like someone's going to go down there to deal with this.
Oh, this is a good item for Envy to find. He got spider legs, so he'll be able to always get out of Sprout. He'll be able to maybe escape some awkward situations where he could get shackled.
Well, what do you get in return? You get a craggy coat for Nigma.
Not a bad item either, by any means. Wonder who you put it on, though.
Yeah, that's the question. You put it on the Disruptor so we can survive a little longer.
We could put it on the Wind Ranger, right? She gets so much attack speed anyway from her ult. It is minus attack speed, not minus attack damage, right? I think I'm remembering that correctly, but...
Enchanted Quiver for the Ember. Not what he was searching for, but you can give it over to the Wind Ranger. If she's got item slots, of course. Still the net worth. Like, if you look at it all, like, still 3K in favor of Nigma. Storm's the primary one up there. The next 3 behind by a large margin is still Radiant.
But do they feel it, is the question.
Is it effective net worth?
No, but also in Nigma's minds, do they know? Like, the way the game has progressed in the last 5 to 10 minutes, they might feel like they're trailing right now. They lost a couple of fights in a row, a couple of them pretty badly. So it's easy for us to say, but they don't have this information available.
There's the balance of Dota, Spider Legs for both teams, Enchanted Quiver for both teams. Yep. Balanced in all things.
Absolutely. And the Quiver is currently going on Bryle. Give him a lot of extra damage in the initial jump. Can help a lot with getting the instant burst on someone like Lich or Disruptor.
Wind Ranger having the MKB before this fight.
They have no vision at all.
They're coming right next to the tier 1 tower. I'm seeing items being dropped down for the moment. Dragon Scale, Chain Frost going to bounce out. They need Delta Split right now. But AUI as well as Bra just locked together. Mumiana underneath the tier 1 tower does not survive. No overgrowth for them. And man, they're not moving away from the Chain Frost. What? The deer in headlights? Never. Now going to jump forward. Another Yule Scepter up. Now this time, they're on top of Eternal Envy. They get the shackle broken free thanks to the pressing attack. Buyback coming in from the Jakiro. He needs to give an Ice Path. He needs to give something to get out. Envy's already gone down. Snaking will fall as well. They weren't ready for it.
Dude, I can't believe what I just watched. Brawl was running next to the Jakiro and let the Chain Frost bounce 6 times instead of spending 200 mana to just jump away so it wouldn't chain.
Now Nigma going for Roshan.
AUI literally got 100 to 0'd by Chain Frost. It bounced 4 times between him and the Storm, and then the last time it bounced to somebody else. Like, what was that? Maybe Brawl wasn't looking at his hero. Like, I can't believe that just happened.
What was he looking at instead?
I don't know. He just needed to jump for... He didn't even need to use mana. He could have just walked down 100 range, and the Chain Frost would have stopped. And he was just watching his teammate get killed. Dude, that was bizarre.
Oh.
And that's so costly, too. The Jakiro buys back. The fight becomes a nightmare because they're totally out of position. Jakiro buys back. They lose the Roche. They didn't even place a ward with their aggressive maneuver, which, to begin with, was kind of daring. Attacking this mid tower from this angle, a full HP mid tower without having a pre-placed ward, is very dangerous against the whole team that's missing. And Nigma were ready that time. And all of a sudden, Toby, now it's
swinging back the other way.
Now
but
it's back how it was supposed to be 5 minutes ago.
This is the full swingers game, though. Like, never think you're totally ahead. You never know what can happen.
This is scrappy.
Definitely.
Time for Outpost in a minute and a half.
It's an Outpost fight, boys. Everyone prioritizes.
Weehaw just got so much stronger with this MKB plus Quiver, and he even has the Spider Legs too. So if you try to escape him with Force Staff by forcing over the high ground while you're focus fire, doesn't matter. He can run out after you straight away with the legs.
I do love that the team who has a Treant Protector only has 1 remaining out of tower compared to Enigma who have 6. They are all still up. They haven't claimed even the tier 1 tower on bottom lane, which is meant to try and stop Enigma from being able to contest that southern outpost.
That's largely credit to Nature's Prophet, right? Just constantly pushing out the lanes and taking the early towers himself.
He's number 1 on the net worth board.
Yep. Mind Control knows how to play his Prophet.
That he does. And Weeha's coming now to defend the tower as well. And again, it's probably also for the outpost battle. 40 seconds. That's when the teams want to hold him. And right now, because Enigma can bring the numbers to the bottom lane and no one's up on top, like Storm would have to like ball lightning all the way across the map in order to get that outpost in time. And in fact, look at him TP. It's like, who's coming for this? Does anyone want to give it a shot?
Oh, if they get Bryle here, that's big.
Yeah,
They might. They just might.
Pan screen right. There you go. Bryle on the run, the wall. Oh, not in time. He's going to have to BKB.
They didn't land the Shackle. If that Shackle latches, he is dead on the spot.
Still able to just BKB and walk away. They don't want Miracle. There we go. Bounty rune up. So all 4 bounty runes. Oh, even the double damage rune, Mind Control. And he's going to Orchid Bryle with a double damage. He'll actually hit pretty damn hard. Weeha's coming over too. The Shackle will land. This is the old school synergy. Sprout and Shackle.
they're trying to
Taking,
help.
no, he's too far forward. He just loses his life so quickly. Mind Control's just doing double damage, battle through everything. It's not bad. It is a disaster.
It's very bad.
Enigma are going to push straight up the mid now. Force the buyback. Storm and Legion both have it. But look at Mind Control. He's been such a hero to relieve some pressure. The Pandas gave them the breathing room. There's your first buyback. Fortifications buying some time. Weeha lining up. He's thinking about an extra Shackle, looking for Eternal Envy. They can see him now. It's a good gust. And Miracle copping a lot of damage. It's another silence as well. And Storm Spirit jumps forward. The Yules are up. Mind Control currently controlled thanks to the duel of Snaky, but he's just tanking through so much. In fact, Snaking is the one who's dying. Moonmeander finally able to get this ulti up, but now the Lich Chain Frost too. Bounce away from it. Weeha so low on life. Mind Control does die. And the Pandas hold their tier 3 tower. So they keep their base up.
Yep, it's expensive though. It's 2 core buybacks, and one of them being the Storm. That is the usual trump card you have for defending your base once. Can buyback jump on top of them. Miracle with the perfectly timed Yules didn't take damage from Ball Lightning, or he could have been one-shot there. So I honestly think Enigma, all in all, with the buybacks they forced there, they got out with absolute minimal casualties, only losing that Nature's Prophet. So I think they should be pretty happy with that.
In fact, you can plateau the team net worth advantage. Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, that could have gone a lot worse. At the same time, though, the reason this whole situation came to be was that they tried to help Bryle in mid. If they would have cut their losses on that Storm, Enigma don't go high ground, but then they gave them a bonus Legion Commander and then a bonus glimpse on the Jakiro, and all of a sudden...
Then Storm has to buy him back. It's like, please don't help me. Sometimes it's a good thing in Dota.
Regeneration.
Ember gets the Shiva's Guard up and running. More and more tanky, Miracle. Before we said, like, he felt like he was invincible. Is he now? Is he actually now reached that point where he really is properly invincible going into these fights?
He can still die in a duel. But outside of that, yeah. He can Yule Gust, he can Yule Overgrowth. He has Shiva, has a lot of armor against the Drow. Yeah, he should be completely fine outside of that.
Windranger running forward. Once again, Moonmeander. The frontliner. Now you burn all that mana, Storm. Took half of his mana to move a quarter of the map. Just forever being pressured back in again. But it does always feel like this is where the Pandas fight the best. Inside their base, back to the wall. They just need one good fight. The Aegis Immortal will now time out.
This game kind of has a different feel to it than the last one, though. It's like the time of the game that this has happened, the type of heroes that Enigma have playing from ahead, but the map control that they will arguably maintain almost forever if they split their heroes correctly.
But as long as the Drow Ranger is able to sit in the back lines, it feels like it can still be the same game.
All right, here we go. Will they get the duel?
Weeha, Ice Path, off target. Oh, they really needed that. Now the Searing Change catch out on 2 press. The attack breaks Eternal Envy free. And the Treants are pushing bottom lane, so this needs to succeed straight away. Or else they have to just TP back for defense. Exactly what's happening now.
And you see the item queued up for Weehaw. He's queuing up a Lincoln. So they know that the way they lose this game is to good duels. And getting a Lincoln on him, maybe even one on Ember to top it off. Initiations become very, very tricky.
Dire's top tower
FP.
is under attack.
Right, Mind Control going to secure the last tower of the game outside the base. He's jacked.
Dire's top tower
He is. He knows how to lift the staff. You just see like, repair work, repair work. Prepare the defenses.
And they did make an aggressive smoke, but it didn't work. They got repelled, and then their warrior place got removed. So effectively, it didn't really accomplish anything at all. So this time, Nigma were much better about their positioning and not getting caught out, learning from prior mistakes on Weehaw here, having the backup of the team nearby.
They do at least have a nice observer ward watching for any kind of movement from Nigma when they prep Roshan wards. And that will have to be the next point of contest. Like, you just got a BKB over on the Legion Commander. This has to work for her jump in. In fact, even under the Dire Observer ward, that's where Weehaw's playing right now. Perfect Radiant scan from Nigma. Miracle is the man under the cover of Invis. 35-minute bounty runes, boys and girls. Snaking. Well, he'll get it. But Miracle, right on his tail. Trying to keep... He's waiting for the rest of his team to then glimpse back, and nope. The BKB. This is your first use of a 10-second BKB. Is to escape a glimpse. It would have been his death, though.
Absolutely. He has to BKB that.
And there's an Aghanim Scepter now also on Disruptor, so
keep in
life
mind,
got even harder.
He doesn't buy back either on Legion, so that is an absolute mandatory BKB usage, or that could have opened up the base.
Look at him move so fast towards the north. They're smoked up themselves. Nigma don't have the high ground, however. A little bit more difficult.
Oh, they saw two heroes. This could be a go call.
They don't have enough information. Now the smoke's going to break. Oh, hi, Envy! And bye, Envy. Can't BKB, can't get out that one. That's an Aghanim like Storm. And look at Mind Control. One is not enough. Two will do. And now they can push up. The mid lane is already pushed in with the creep wave, so they'll beat into the tier 3 tower.
MC's hitting this so hard with that AC Blightstone. Tower down. Buyback has to come out. They don't have it on Jakiro, though.
Is
but
this
Storm
enough?
should be able to delay this.
Long jump in. Goes after Mind Control. Moon Meander with his slow of his own. Shackle unable to latch. Sentry wards being planted and instantly dewarded. Not because they got an observe ward, just got their own sentry up there and they're up high. But you got what you wanted, right? Like, again, another buyback on another core. This is the core who didn't have to buy back before.
Is under attack.
It was Storm, Legion, and Drow who all have it on cooldown. And Roshan's still a good 2 minutes away. But you'll take out the Shrine, make it impossible to bring reinforcements for Panda.
And they're going to get ready for the Rosh. Coming up relatively soon here.
Has fallen.
Early actually, it's spawning in a second.
I can't believe how much this game has just swung and still, like, no tier 1 tower was lost for Nigma. You'd look at this, you look at the kill advantage, you'd look at the gold advantage.
Oh,
and if you just tuned in, you'd be like, Nigma controlled the entire game from here.
Yeah, I mean, in all fairness, with how the first 15 minutes went, or 10 minutes, I think that's what kind of should have happened. They just made a couple of overextension moves, and FP took some chances that paid off. And that's what you need to do when you're behind. You need to go for those 5-man smokes and just hope that the enemy's out of position, and it worked. But now the grip is tightening. They have way more of a lead. And they're not splitting up anymore. I think it's just like a natural gut feeling that Dota players have most of the time. When you reach a certain point in the game, it's kind of just unanimously agreed that, okay, we're at the point where we can't split up very much anymore. So it shouldn't be happening too much any longer. You can see, even though it looks like they're split, there's still 4 heroes in the relative proximity of each other, and the last one is Nature's Prophets. He will always be able to connect.
The rune of regeneration.
Envy's going to have to do so much work for just the range damage, while Storm needs to stay alive on the front lines. Kind of wondering like how Envy wants to build this. We saw the Aghanim Scepter from him previously. He's already got a hell of a lot of items. Aghanim's normally better when you got a Maelstrom. Just because you get Tesla Ranger. Roshan currently being killed off as well. Just spawned up. And Mind Control's going to do the solo now. We will come and help him. Still got a hell of a lot of damage from the Clamp, but it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. You know, the hero damage we're looking at is Ember Spirit. I'd love to see what MP's got. MC has really done so much work this game. 24.
got a weird death animation. He just disappeared.
Yeah.
It's like, poof.
He doesn't spawn from anywhere, too. Like, I think like he crawl out of a crevice.
Yeah, get on it, Valve.
Yeah, please. Animations for heroes. Why are they just appear out of nowhere? They should they be like ported down or something?
Radiant are
Onto the
scanning.
battlefield as the gods have chosen them. Anyway, back to the game of Dota. Up comes the attack. Smoke up. They're looking for a target. Woo! Smoke's gonna break. A lot of spirits on the field. They want to try and battle around them as Envy does the range damage. He's not really hitting anybody with this, but he's trying to keep his distance from Miracle. It's a good sentry what they saw him. Another long spirit jump forward, trying to clean up the wave, and the duel is out. Miracle protected for the moment, but now the Chain Frost. It won't bounce if anyone. Sword Spirit jumps in, Miracle is down, and a Vortex. Maybe they can catch Weehaw as well. They want the rack, so maybe they'll lose more. The Overgrowth, they keep the Wind Ranger in position, but they're going to kill her a second time. Ember buying back, he's going to TP towards the mid tower. He's going to be a while before he's up, but now the Ice Bar poke from AUI, and they have the damage. Weehaw can't run out of the top of Bryle, stuck inside the ultimate of Disruptor means at least he can't push for a little bit more, allowing the TPs out, but you bought back on the Ember. Weehaw dying twice, one of it being the Aegis, and now with Scythe of Vice over on Storm Spirit.
And level 25. This game's not over yet, especially if Nigma aren't more disciplined than this when they push. If Ember does not have Aegis like this and he walks in that close, when you duel yourself against the Drow Silence, you set yourself up for an Ice Path, and their lineup is playing with 0 saves. That's a free duel right there. You just go in, Storm is eventually going to jump and do the damage, and then the collateral damage is way too severe. You lose the Wind Ranger and the Aegis on that?
Yep.
That's basically 3 cores and a buyback on the Ember. So it's kind of like 4 cores. They just kill it for nothing.
I still don't know how they solve the answer of like, how do you close the distance on Eternal Envy? Like you've only got one hero that can really jump in, and that's the Ember Spirit, and you can't go alone. So you try and pick off the front lines, but it was Legion who starts this off. You were already calling it like they're going to duel. They're going to catch.
If they don't feel, I mean, maybe they feel confident that they can end the lane of Rex there, but you know, they could control the map if they wanted. They have Nature's Prophet, they have all 3 lanes pushed in, they have an Ember Spirit. Pushing lanes is not exactly very difficult for them in this game, and if they do want to do this with the front line Ember, buy some more defensive utility for him. Buy a Glimmer Cape, buy a Solar Crest, and put both of them on him so he doesn't die in this duel. Or maybe buy an Aeon Disc on the Ember if you really want to do this stuff. He's got a BKB.
Yep. BKB instead. There's also some Ninja Gear.
Yeah, he should survive. He'll survive a duel if he's BKB, because then Storm won't kill him.
I do love how it's just full combat profit. Like, and he's going to buy, what, the Aghanim Scepter for the Ember Spirit?
Yeah.
You probably want to consume that, however, because he won't have the item slots to sustain it.
Are under attack.
But a full Daedalus got completed on Prophet.
Yep. The damage is definitely there from Nigma in this game on the heroes. It's about whether they can set themselves up to hit stuff.
Hey, Moon. He's got a fresh Blink Dagger as well. Another Blink Dagger also arriving for his support. GH. Lisa's coming on the courier for the moment. And another Blink Dagger. Legion Commander, add him to the list. Back into the base. The Pandas go. And they start losing more and more control of this map.
Invisibility.
And the status quo resets.
The rune of haste.
With Pandas, do you just wait now? Like, do you come out? You got 3 sentry wards at least down
I mean,
to the south.
Statistically, Nigma are going to make a mistake again. So you could wait for
you mean it's their turn or what?
I mean, at the same time, this is a super experienced team. They should identify what the problem is and solve it, right? And the problem is we're going in too close with our Ember to hit racks. We can play the map. We can be in proximity of each other, and we can. I think if fighting Pandas, fight them out in the open, I don't think they're favored in the fighting Pandas at all. Like the lead is still there.
Fresh jobs are coming out. The jump in, Miracle too far forward. The Hex is there for mind control. The Storm is out. The Chain Frost will have not bounced, but it's a great gust. And Envy gonna try and get that damage in. Moon Meander dropping quickly, but at least he got the ulti up. Bryle needs a ball landing himself away from this one. Allow Moon Meander to die. And Glimpse, AUI is the one to be brought further back. So they'll take the 2 supports, Nigma. Only one of them has buyback available.
It cost them a cheese, but that time Kuro was in range with the Glimmer Cape and the detection was there. Imagine there's detection there. He's just going to get dueled and die again on Ember. That was, I mean, it's good they get 2 kills, but you can't really call that good of a play. That could have been a disaster. If there was any detection that was a mistake, once again, you've got to be careful.
But the funny
with
thing
this
is, too,
positioning.
Storm Spirit can just keep him out. He's just ball lightning out and ball lightning back in again. No creep wave should be able to enter this base unless they get an instant grab, which they don't have. They just have a glimpse, which he can potentially just BKB out. There it is. There's your spirits. Oh, no, wait. I shouldn't have said anything.
That's a big one. He has to buy back. He might as well do it immediately. Or they can try to bait and hope Nigma get out of position again. BKB on Miracle ready in 5 seconds, at which point he shouldn't be able to die unless he gets dueled without popping it.
Just needs to keep split shotting.
I like not buying back here on Storm, by the way. I think it's good. Use the glyph. You might lose your range racks. But if you can somehow set up a fight where Storm can buy back and you get kills on the way out,
Then it's worth it.
then it's definitely worth it. But
Well, Overgrowth still on cooldown for the moment. The silence is on snaking. Oh, someone going to remember to kill that off that Rax. A quick gust over on Weeha. Ice Path, Weeha have to run a bit further towards the north. Snaking. Now the duel is over on Mind Control. Disruptor,
good one,
he's
I
waiting
think.
in the wings. He's waiting for the big ultimate. Bryle has jumped in with the BKB. They at least kill up Nature's Prophet. Cleaning up the trees. Catching a Disruptor. GH needs to drop down this ultimate, but moving Ender. Keeping the turns going, but Ember also right in the middle of this fight. They're so low on Nigma, but there's not enough heroes. They have to buy them back for the Pandas to continue the fight. It's Miracle. He's already inside the base.
yeah, dueling Nature's Prophet is just a no-go. He has buyback. He'll be back immediately. The moment Legion duels that Furin, I feel like the fight is doomed almost. You have to get somebody else than the Nature's Prophet when you know he has his buyback available. That is what Nigma want to happen. Interesting Orchid. Sometimes you just Orchid a melee creep for no reason.
Also interesting ball lightning. I think he's looking for, what, a rune?
Yeah, he got an Arcane, actually. So that wasn't purpose. He has a ward over there showing the rune. But Nigma are definitely closing in on a win here. Well, dueling Mind Control now would be great, but your Duelier is dead for a minute.
No Overgrowth either. They just keep cleaning through the racks. The Treants give the high ground vision, and Mind Control being protected by the Lincoln Sphere of Weeha. That's when he realizes I'm no longer the primary hero. 27k net worth to the 18k of his other cores. But at least they're having a little bit more time here, Panda. Yeah, you lose your tier 3 tower mid. The Rax isn't down just yet. But they're looking for more. Weeha hoping for a good shackle. Eternal Envy is that one. Mind Control still on the front lines. Legion Commander, 30 seconds on the sideline. Weeha's back here to finish the job they started. The melee Rax needs to fall. Overgrowth still not up. Ice Pass after Ice Pass. Nice jump in from Bryle, searching for his target. It's going to be Nature's Prophet. Mind Control will be a huge kill, but then again, he just consumes all the life around him. Life is back up again. The BKB protects him. It sounded like a cheese. I heard a nom. Definitely heard a nom nom.
Didn't they use a cheese on Ember before? Have they killed 2 Roshans with cheese? I think that was a Satanic. His health bar kind of reflects the kind of guy who would have a Satanic.
I'm going off sound, man, at this point.
Well, I thought I heard it, but what do I know?
Normally a lot. No, I remember. Hang on. What's the thing? Cinder's never wrong. That's the phrase.
Good. I'm glad that it's established.
Yeah, definitely Satanic.
Wait, did they just click him there? I didn't see it. Did they have 2 cheese?
It's fine, Sin. Like,
Toby will never know.
that's fine.
What if we'll never know if they have 2 cheese?
That's called replays, and we have the technology. Aghanim Scepter drop from Lich. There goes your AoE controller.
Yeah, Satanic on Nature's Prophet. Okay, got a bit too excited about that one, my bad. Well, 23k lead. You have options now for Nigma. You can wait for Roche. You could keep playing map control, get the 50-minute outposts, bounties, extend your lead to almost 30k.
It's time to smoke and fight.
You're not letting it happen. You know, I love this. Like, you can't just sit back and wait.
Yep.
Like, get something done, you know? Try for a play. If you find Nature's Prophet, that would be a huge kill because now he doesn't have buyback.
He's on the wrong side of the map.
But yeah, they're not finding that guy. But they're looking at Roche because it can spawn right now.
It's actually the only observer ward that's outside the base. It's the only place they can have vision and fight this. But the middle lane's pushing in. No one's having a look anywhere. They have to TP home. Storm Spirit's doing his ball thing.
Yeah, I still like the attempt. I think.
Yeah,
if they
have to do something.
Maybe they could have waited another minute and a half because there's a way higher chance they encounter somebody for the outposts and the bounty runes. But at the same time, then you could have run into 5 heroes that were together, and then the game would end. And maybe they're hoping to find 1 or 2 that are a little bit spread from the pack.
God.
Oh, that's a good rune.
That is a very good rune. Spider leg up and look for a target. Broodmother is always with us. There's a lore of Spider Leg, so it's just like stolen.
HP, look at
2.6k.
3.2
3.2?
on Disruptor.
He's got more than NB.
He has the Witless Shaco. So...
Roshan's dying very quickly. Scans available for Dire side, but they should know it by now. They're going to smoke up, but it's going to be way too late. Nigma have the bonus damage thanks to the DD. It's done.
It's the luck of the draw, right? I think FP's original smoke could have got them a Roche.
Oh, thinking. Whoa, whoa, whoa! He's jumping in. He'll trigger the BKB. Support is nearby. Look at Embersbury. He's like, I know there's more. There has to be more. AUI protected by the Glimmer Cape. He'll go up the hill. No one's inside the base. They're all out in the jungle. TPing over, Nature's Prophet smack bang in the middle. The Ice Path will be able to catch him out. They're all running around like headless chickens looking for a target. Looks like the first one's really going to be AUI. Perfect sprout block. Just keeping AUI. Guys, in the trees. Sure, all right.
Okay.
Didn't Sprout get the vision for that? Like,
it was a good Sprout block.
Round the corner.
Where else would he have gone? I don't know. Anyway, he got out. Yeah, so the original smoke from FP there, if they would have found somebody, or even if they found a Roche, right? Like if Roche was up, who knows, maybe they could have snuck it and got an advantage for the incoming fight, but they smoked out at a time Roche could be up. He wasn't. And
he's underneath the Observer Ward. Yul stepped it up and towards the air. He'll hit the deck inside the Storm of GH.
He's got buyback.
And he does have buyback. And there's a lot of spirits trying to make sure that no creep waves again enter the base.
The numbers are starting to be
dangerous.
Insurmountable. There's 4 bounties anytime Nigma want them right now. But they'd rather pressure this buyback out of the Legion Commander. They have Aegis Cheese, Refresher. I think, was it Refresher Axe that dropped?
Don't know. Didn't see.
I think it was Axe. Weeha has Axe. And Miracle bought one himself. So it was Axe this time. No Refresh. Kuro has an Axe too.
Yeah, he bought one.
He bought one.
To teach. Leaves of 3, let them
get all the bounties. Nature's Prophet can just teleport around, you know? Get that money.
If you actually say, we're gonna get to that point soon.
Come on, man.
He's 26.
You could at least take the bounties.
He's got support heroes to do that. Don't you understand? Mind Control is the big deal.
Like
Moon Meander over in the corner. Now Mind Control locked inside the Ice Path, but Spirit Fort, Miracle. Straight towards the front lines. Has the BKB for a little bit of protection, not to mention the huge amount of damage the Mind Control can pump out. But you'll need to move up onto the high ground to get the hit. Mind Control, another great Ice Path, catching 2. Miracle forced up a little bit deeper. Moon Meander still holding the ultimate. It's a good gust coming in as well. And Mind Control, so much damage onto him. But remember, he's got Satanic. One attack, he'll hit. He needs to hit a couple more, however. Now the Ice Path can connect in. Mind Control becomes a really real target. But they need more damage. They have the vision. The sentry ward's over in the tree lines. That's why this movement away. He'll have to trigger the BKB, TP out, Envy. He'll break the Aegis of the Immortal. Weeha wants to hang around just to make sure a double Ice Path. A duel is out by Control. No abilities to stay alive. He's brought down 2 minutes on the silence, but the tier 4 towers are under huge siege because mid lane and top lane is already pushed in. Nigma will back up. Where's that discipline?
Does Nigma have 0 4-staffs? And a single 4-staff there definitely saves that Nature's Prophet.
The answer is no.
I don't know. I feel like in this patch, 50 minutes and there's almost like never a game you don't have a 4-staff. Think about it in this game. You can 4-staff people that get Vortex by Storm. You can 4-staff people that get Silenced by Drow or that get Overgrowth by the Treant. Like there's no way he dies there if that's in their kit. I think maybe it's a bit too greedy for Kuro to go for an Axe. Like it's ambitious as a big item, but just sometimes the smaller and easier items are better.
It doesn't feel like he's even got a grab target. And the only target he really needs to, he's going to get Legion Commander, who's going to BKB when she jumps in. Yul Scepter up. GH, man, what a catch, what a player. Bryle is just nailed down for 2 minutes. And Mind Control gives GH the tip, and rightly so. He may have just propelled them into the playoffs with this. Storm is such a huge factor against Nigma.
They have 1 minute too. The moment Nature's Prophet respawns, he's there.
Oh, buyback for Storm is up now.
Okay, they might not know this, so they might get overconfident.
Prophet's got his buyback up. Dro will have hers in 3 seconds time, so everyone will be able to buy. And now the blink, the duel is out. How much damage have they got? They got a hell of a lot. Miracle! He just explodes and Brad's like, let's go for a little bit more. Pulling back in the Lich. You want to Chain Frost? You want to see this to gaze? You want to die? 3 heroes down, but remember, defense duty is still a thing. They have to clean up the top lane. They have to clean up the mid lane.
A gift from the Tempest.
And this feels so hard for Nigma to end. It did cost a buyback on the Storm Spirit, however, to do that, D. What are you thinking, Sin, as you now go into Greek thought pose?
I mean, well, at least GH has 6.2k gold, so he can buy something nice.
We
Jackal.
Oh,
he's got him.
One range creep to do the work. Now Storm jumps out. Remember, GH just wants to Eul Scepter. Put down the Storm, put down the wall, and here we go again. Moon Meander, he's creating the space, but Braul's going to drop. Dead for 2 minutes. We have the BKB will wear off. Snaking and Moon, they just can't go anywhere. Shackledly fated together. Buybacks massively come out, but you know who doesn't have one? It's the Storm Spirit. More work. Another Shackle looking for his target. Mind Control will jump in. Eternal Envy looking for his damage. AUI in the back lines. Miracle still protected by the BKB. Envy resetting up, spider-legging himself through his own ancient. Mind Control is filled up for the moment, but Envy, he's currently unable to attack. He will be able to buy back. The Shackles will continue. Moon Meander, he's just holding them as long as he possibly can. A quick gust does not connect over from Miracle. Envy, get back in your base. Glimpse back home, and with the 5 heroes together, Nigma looking for the defense. Envy trying to hit hard. He'll have to play huge. He kills up GH. We are low on life. The Sprout won't control him, but the Ancient is going down. He needs more help. Legion has to get in there. The Sinister Gaze. The two of them hold for the moment with the Searing Chains and then the Chain Frost. That'll be the game. GG. My God, this series has been a test. Plus 50 minutes. Keep it going until, was it? It's currently 2:30 here in